And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Ladies Professional Racquetball Tour. My name's Tim Backers, joined, as always, by Commissioner TJ Bamba. This evening's special guest, Adriana Riveros, representing Colombia, a regular on the Lprt Tour. Adriana, welcome to the show. If you wouldn't mind, just give us a little bit of history about your career and what you're doing right now.
Thank you very much, Tim. Hi, TJ. Hi, everyone. Hope everybody are safe and stay good. I started playing racquetball when I was around 12 years old. I started in Bolivia with my father. Then I had the opportunity to represent Colombia, which is, I think, is the best team. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to play for Colombia. And yeah, then I started also the Lprt maybe 4 years ago, something like that. So there is a lot of racquetball in my life, and I think it's my life. Right now, I'm studying at Colorado. I'm doing my master's degree in industrial and system engineering, but I studied my undergraduate also in Bolivia, and I did environmental engineering. And yeah, that's me.
Well, what we're going to do this evening, TJ is going to ask a few questions of you. Those of you watching, if you have questions for Adriana, put them in your chat box. We'll go to Kahoot. Jay has pulled out an interesting category this evening, so be sure to stick around for that. TJ, you might not claim the title this week based on what Jay's chosen. We'll see.
Oh, no.
You may surprise us. But Adriana, I know you had some giveaways, so I'm going to let you talk about those right now, so it gives people a chance to guess.
Okay, I will show you. So there is a formula giveaway. So I'm gonna give you two questions, and the first persons that answer correct and typing correct, I mean typing because if I say what's my first name, you cannot say Adriana with two N's. So it has to be the correct name. And I will give you the two questions, and the first that answer, you will have a T-shirt for Formula Flow.
So, what are the questions?
Okay. I have to give it right now or during the.
Give one right now so that people can start guessing, and then while you're talking with TJ, I will kind of look through and we'll talk about it later.
Okay, so the first question would be, what's the name of my little sister?
Ooh. All right, that's a tough one.
All right, so that's your first question. What's the name of Adriana's little sister? If you know,
Yes.
put it in the chat box. If you want to guess, put it in the chat box. And in a minute or two, we'll go through some of those and see if anybody's right. But I'm going to turn it over to TJ. TJ, I know you have some questions to start off with.
I do. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Adriana, for joining us this evening. It's nice to see you again. I miss all of the players and everybody. So, Adriana, what I'm going to do is this is just rapid fire questions. I'll ask a question and just answer the first thing that comes to mind. Okay. Okay, first question, and I like to ask this of every guest. What's the most interesting thing you've done during the quarantine?
Ooh, it would be watch a lot of TV.
That's the most interesting.
Interesting.
Mhm.
I'm not sure. Interesting. I think would be with Jesse, and there is also two kids from Bolivia here. Because of the pandemic, they couldn't return home, so I stayed with them, and it was I was really happy to join with them and play games and just stay with them. I think that would be the most interesting what I did.
Okay, what is your favorite TV show?
TV show. Maybe 2 Men and a Half.
Okay, 2.5 Men. All right, all right.
Have
What's your favorite food?
favorite food? It's lasagna.
Lasagna. That's a good one. What's your best experience on tour so far?
It would be one that was in Cincinnati, Ohio. It was the first time I get into semifinals on the Lprt. And I remember that time I was training with Jesse, but also with coach in Texas, Coach Harry Robinson. And I stayed also with Dr. Mike Gray. It was a really fun preparation with them, and it was one of my first tournaments. And when I made it semifinal, I was so happy. So I think that's my best memory from Lprt.
What's one of your best childhood memories?
Childhood. It will be with all my family in a place that it's called Alto Beni. That's on La Paz. I used to meet with all my family, my grandparents, my parents, cousins, aunts, and it was just an amazing place with a lot of nature, many trees, and I enjoyed those vacations with my family.
That sounds great. What's some of the best advice you've ever received for racquetball?
To be persistent. That's the better advice I received.
What's some of the worst advice you've ever received inside or outside of racquetball?
The worst, I'm not sure. Maybe not an advice, a comment that somebody told me, you're playing awful or something like that. That would be the worst comment.
Okay. What's a piece of advice you would give to yourself 10 years ago if you could go back?
I'm not sure. I think I'm happy from what I've done. I know the circumstances, and I think I learned a lot from my mistakes, and I also enjoy the moments that I had in the past. I don't know if I would have changed something. I think I like the way it happened, everything.
Good. So last question, what's your favorite shot to take on court?
Down the line and pinch. It has to be just one.
If you could only hit one during a rally.
Down the line.
Okay, good answer. All right, thank you, Adriana. I'm going to turn it back to Tim.
All right, everybody. And she is giving away a t-shirt, a Formula Flow t-shirt. And the question is, what's the name of her little sister? If you think you know, put it in the chat box and we will put it up there and we will see. So waiting for some guesses. I know we've had one, but I'm looking for more. And then also, don't forget, we're going to play Kahoot later. Don't forget to go to www.kahoot.it. Enter the pin code 360242 to be entered. Jay has chosen an interesting category this evening, and so it might be a little challenging. I know it would be for me. So make sure you get in there and join in and have some fun with all of us on Kahoot. Okay, let's get to some questions. Adriana, one of the questions here is, let me just find it. JTRB says, while you are in college in Colorado, do you get to practice with them very often? I'm sorry, let me back up. Very frequently, you play doubles with other Colombian national team members. Cristina Amaya is an obvious one. Mario Mercado, you've played mixed doubles with very successfully.
Yeah.
While you're in college in Colorado, do you get to practice with them very often? Does it make it harder to compete successfully on the tour or at IRF events?
Well, actually, I cannot practice too much with Cristina or Mario because we don't live in the same place. But I think each of one trains in its place. So I have the opportunity to train with a racquetball team here in my college. And I'm also has really good coaches, that is Coach Heiser and Jesse Basovery. And I'm very happy with the team here. So I think the things that I train with them are good for the IRF events when I have to play with Christina or Mario.
And Jim McCarr asks, how are you dealing with the clubs being closed due to COVID? Are you able to train at the university right now?
That's hard, very hard, because I was missing too much racquetball. Then I found there are some courts in Colorado Springs that is maybe like 1 hour from where I live. Finally, the courts are going to be open in my college. So yeah, I'm gonna start playing again a lot of racquetball.
Follow-up from Jim says, what kind of workouts are you doing or have you been doing if you're not able to play racquetball or practice racquetball?
Well, especially physical training just in home. I had to buy some like weights or balls to keep doing exercise. Also, I was trying to hit in some of the walls or at least hit with my racket. And yeah, it will be more physical training for during these times that we couldn't go into racquetball courts.
How do you stay motivated when, racquetball has not been available for many months and we don't know when tournaments will happen again? It's easy to just go, I'm just going to watch TV, right? How do you make sure that you stay training and you keep motivated and you keep getting better?
Well, I think the motivation will be that I know that I will be in a racquetball court, and I didn't want to be out of shape or just lose what I trained before. So I know I had to do it because that's what I want to. And well, I think everybody had more time on quarantine, so you can do specific trainings or things that you want to be better. And maybe some other time we didn't have the time to do that. So I started working on those things, and I had the time to watch TV and train during quarantine.
Margot Scott is an LPRT board member. Hi, Margot. She says, how is college life different in the US compared with Bolivia?
Wow, it's very different. As I mentioned, I did my undergraduate in environmental engineering, but once I came here to do my master, it was a little different. The system that how they teach you. I think here there is a lot of investigation process, and you have to look for the things that you are interested in by yourself, and then you have the help of your professors to teach you or to make you better in what you already know. So I think that's really different from Bolivia, where you just go and sit and you learn whatever they tell you. But here, I think you have to investigate by yourself, and then you can ask or do things with your professors.
Jim McCarr wants to know which match in the LPRT tournaments that you've played in is your proudest win, your best win.
I think my best win was in Cincinnati. It was my first time doing semifinals, so I was so happy. I will never forget that match. But I think the other game I really like is once we get into the finals at the US Open with Christina in doubles, and get into that amazing court at the US Open was amazing, because when I was child I used to see the videos of the professionals. I used to see Ronda on camera, on videos, and it was just like a dream to stay in that court and be able to play in that court.
TJ, you and I have watched Adriana over the last year, 2 years, and she's improved a lot. She's become more consistent, and we saw just before COVID hit, she started to get some upsets. She started to get some wins that we haven't seen from her in recent times.
I would agree with that. Adriana, often as we're commentating, refer to you as a kind of a quiet superstar because I think you move so well on the court smoothly, and you set your feet and you shoot so well. Would you agree with that, or would you describe your game a little differently?
I think you are correct. I think I sometimes more precise than fast on the court or things like that. And I think I'm kind of calm, or at least when I see my own videos, I look very calm. But when I'm playing, I don't feel like that.
I don't think anybody would know that.
When we look at the way you play, one of the things we've talked about on commentary is that when you have an opportunity, you take it. You're very aggressive. You take advantage of mistakes from opponents. But we also have seen, and you mentioned, you're not as fast as some of the athletes. What are you doing to make yourself faster so that you can compete with, oh, you want to compete with me on fitness? Okay, let's go. You want to compete with me on speed? Let's go. What are you doing to try to get better in that area?
I think definitely my weakness is physical in the court, physical training. So I think the only thing that I can do is train that part, become faster. And I know that once I reach my goals in that sense, I will be better in the court.
Adriana,
I'm
sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So, Adriana, how difficult is it to be a student in engineering and play the tour at the same time? I know it's a little different right now because of the quarantine and pandemic, but you were a student last season. How challenging is that?
Well, to be honest, it was challenging for me because, as I mentioned, it was kind of different from what I was accustomed to study in Bolivia. So I had to do more efforts to do my master's degree here. But I think there is time for everything if you want. So you just have to be like have a schedule and try to feed your schedule every time. And I think that would be the key, but it was a little hard at the first. Now I'm getting more accustomed to it.
And you also mentioned playing on the glass court at the U.S. Open, and again, commentating, we talk about being right up at those courts and saying these athletes make it look so easy, but it's not. Can you describe for the fans out there what it's like to be on some of those courts, the U.S. Open and Paolo Longoria's court in Mexico? What are the challenges you face entering a big match like that on one of those courts?
Well, first of all, I was really nervous the first time. See all the lights and the music and everything just shut down. I was really nervous, but the sensation that I have, it was like I was in a dream. That was my sensation. I couldn't believe it that time. It took me a couple of points to react to the situation and start playing in the way I know to play. But so the challenges, I think it's because the glass court is different from the regular ones. So sometimes you just lose the ball, or you cannot see it as well as when you are in a regular court. But then I think to have the opportunity to be there, it worth everything.
Next question, but before we get to that, just a reminder, log into Kahoot.it. In a few minutes, we'll be playing trivia with Adriana, so be sure to join in. Go to Kahoot.it, enter the pin code 360242 to participate. I used 2 twice in a row. That's probably not good. Moving on quickly, Daily Racquetball says, what's your opinion of outdoor racquetball? I see that you've often won multiple divisions with your doubles partner, Yasid. Do you play singles as well or just doubles?
On the shootouts that we played, it was just doubles. But when we go to those courts, we also play singles. And I really like outdoor. I was not playing as usually outdoor before, but with this pandemic, it was my option. And I think it's a good option because it's really fun. I like it real much.
And furthering, Jim Heiser's on. He's your coach in Colorado. He
Hi,
says,
coach.
what are your strengths and weaknesses?
Okay. I think my strengths will be my shooting. And with Coach Heiser, we are developing a special service that we're gonna try once we are back. But it's our secret yet.
All right.
And I think down the lines will be one of my strengths, and my weakness will be my physical condition, or at least my speed in the court.
All right. Well, we had another question, which was, what is your favorite shot? And I think you've answered that one. I want to go back to the question that was asked to win a T-shirt, which is, what's the name of Adriana's little sister? And I believe the first person to answer that was Ariel, Carla Riveros.
Yeah, that's the correct one. So also for the people that speak Spanish, the question was, ¿cuál es el nombre de mi hermanita menor? Y la respuesta correcta es Carla. Y se escribe con K de kilo. So yeah, that's the correct answer.
And we had a few people with that correct answer, but Ariel was first. So be sure to get in touch with Adriana to get your T-shirt. Congratulations on that. Now you have a second question, right?
Okay. My second question is, what's my middle name? En Spanish es, ¿cuál es mi segundo nombre y cómo se escribe?
So what is Adriana's middle name? If you think you know, put it in the chat box and we will find out. Another question. We're rounding up the questions, so we'll get into Kahoot in just a few minutes. I know a few people have signed up. Dick Gedney says, when you're in the middle of a match that is not going well, do you change your tactics?
Yes, I usually tend to do that. When I know that something is going wrong, I like to take a time out and try to see if I'm doing something wrong, or just try to analyze what is going on. And if I was doing, I don't know, maybe too many down the lines, I will try to shoot the pinch shots or things like that. But I think also having somebody in the back to tell you and help you to change the strategy, it's really helpful.
So for you, who is in the back helping you?
Well, almost all the time is my coach, Jesse.
Okay.
Tim, I have
I'm
a quick.
just making
I was
sure.
gonna say, Tim, I have a quick
Yeah, go ahead.
question. Your younger sister Carla, does she play racquetball?
She used to play racquetball.
Oh,
She was really good at it, but she likes other things too, and she started university. She's doing 2 careers at the same time, so she was focusing on that.
all right.
All right, last question before we go to Kahoot. So if you haven't yet, kahoot.it, pin number 360242. You'll need 2 screens or 2 devices to follow along. And you'll also be entering in a random name. It will choose a name for you. So we won't know who you are. I got an interesting name this evening myself. So here we go. Last question is from Harry Robinson. Says, do you ever try jump rope for training?
Hi, coach. Do you remember when I told you that I was training on Texas? Well, he was my coach on Texas, and he helped me a lot on improving my speed and my physical condition. And So I want to tell him that I miss him too much. And yes, I was damn proud.
That's great. Okay, we're going to go to Kahoot. Jay, I think you're about ready. And just a reminder, go to kahoot.it. PIN number is 360242. And then we'll get started. You'll be assigned a random name, and this evening's category is definitely an interesting one. And I'm going to struggle, TJ, just as much as you, I think.
Goodness.
So now's your chance. The PIN 360242.
Should I be nervous? Did I need to approve this?
No.
Okay.
He told me what category it was, and he was like, "What do you think about this?" Well, all right. So here we go.
Movies.
Unlike Captain America, oh Jay, you're too fast. I didn't get to read it.
Okay.
Maintains.
So this turns out to be an Avengers theme this evening. So that's yours truly in trouble. Unlike Captain America, who was frozen in Arctic for decades, humans must maintain this internal body temperature. 98.6 is the correct answer. Question 2. This is a true or false. Much like Captain America, there are living creatures on Earth that can survive after being frozen.
True or false?
I should also remind you that the faster you choose the right answer, the more points you get. So it's important to be quick if you want to be near the top. 10 seconds left. What do you think, Adriana?
I think it's true.
I think so too. I think so as well.
I said true too. Oh, we got it right.
Yay.
All right, everybody got it right. All right.
Kudos to the golden hamster, Greg. That's awesome. Next question. Several real-life creatures can survive being frozen. Brown tree frogs can withstand sub-freezing temperatures for up to 7 months by producing natural antifreeze and by forming internal ice crystals in a controlled manner to protect their cells. I guess that's the information.
I think that was kind of the more you know kind of, here we go, true or false.
Super soldier serum given to Steve Rogers is currently used by the military. True or false?
Oh, dear.
Well, it's 50-50, everyone.
All right. I'm impressed by the category. Creative. Jay, good job.
Jim McCarr in 8th place. There's many more questions coming, my friend. There's hope. 5 seconds left to get your answers in. We've had 6 answers. And 50-50. No, 3 people chose true.
I read true.
Oh, we have an upgrade. Aquatic giraffe in the lead. Captain America gained muscle strength via super soldier serum. In what ways can normal humans strengthen muscles? Walking or running, lifting weights, dancing, riding a bike. Please, everyone, get this right.
Well, I could argue that all of those could be correct.
I thought about that myself. It's not a great question. But I guess you have to answer the best answer, right?
The most efficient answer, we'll say. Oh,
and there we
go. Apparently I missed hitting the button.
There's a split on this one. I have a feeling people answered a little too. Oh, it's a multi-answer, Jay says.
Oh, I don't think any. Well, I didn't know that.
And Winged Boa, what a great name, climbs into the lead. Captain America can run 96.5 to 193 kilometers per hour. What is the average running speed of a human adult? 8.1, 7, 10, or 6 miles per hour. This is a tough one because it's average running speed, not top running speed.
Oh, you're right.
Adriana, what did you say?
So I put it 13, but you're right, it's average, so I'm not sure. Oh, yay!
Oh, you got it right. Good
Again.
guess. 8.1 miles per hour is the average running speed of a human adult.
Wow.
And Super Shark makes it into the top.
True or false?
True or false? Vibranium, the Wakandan substance used in Captain America's shield, is a naturally occurring element on Earth. Vibranium, is that in the periodic table of elements? Adriana, you'd better get this one right. This is right in your field. True or false? 50-50? 3 seconds to go. And the answer is false. One guess true.
I guess you could compare that to the what's Superman's kryptonite?
Right. Winged boa still in the lead. Happy emu in second. If biotechnology advanced so that a super soldier serum could be made, what negative impact could that have on soldiers? Increased speed, increased strength, outliving loved ones, abundance of energy.
Is just one answer or multiple?
I think it's just one answer. I don't think increased speed is a negative effect. Outliving loved ones. Next question. Super Shark up into third. Last question. Okay, this is multiple select. Which image shows Captain America moving at a constant speed on a distance time graph? You can choose multiple answers here. Adriana nodding confidently. We will see. 3 seconds to go. And the answer is the first one, a linear progression. So let's conclude with the podium. Third place, Super Shark. Well done to them. Second place, Happy Emu. And first place, Winged Boa. What a great name. I love it. So congratulations, Winged Boa. Whoever you might be, also credit to all of you who participated. Thanks so much for participating. Now,
what
Adriana,
I never play it.
It's a lot of fun. We enjoy playing it each week. So next week you can come on and compete as a fan instead of on the screen.
I will do it.
So you had a question for a free T-shirt from Formula Flow. Remind us what that question was.
What is my middle name?
What is your middle name? And I think we have an answer. I'm just checking to see who is first. And it's Samuel. Su segundo nombre es, how do you pronounce that?
Slash.
Salash.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes, that's good.
All right. Well done, Samuel. Congratulations to you. Contact Adriana for the T-shirt. So everybody, I just want to say thank you for joining us. Adriana, thank you for joining us. Any final comments or questions?
Yes, thank you very much, Tim and TJ. I would like to thank, of course, my coaches, all my colleagues, my partners. I want to thank also Prokenex, Formula Flow for the giveaway, Spin Sports and Astaway. Y también quisiera mandar algunos saludos para toda mi familia allá en Bolivia. Si me están viendo, los extraño mucho. A mi mamita, a mi papá, a mi hermanita también. Y espero que todos se encuentren muy bien y que todos estén a salvo, sanos, cuídense. And I just want to send greetings for everyone. Hope everybody are safe and take care of yourselves. And it was I had a lot of fun here. También quiero mandar un saludo para Lu y para todos los amigos de Racquetball allá en Bolivia y Colombia.
And before we close off, TJ, any news, any updates? Does it continue as we have before?
We're certainly still working on it. Adrian, I am curious, as you were talking about outdoor, will you be in Vegas for the outdoor 3-wall ball event?
Yes, I think so. I'm doing all the possible to go to that event, and I'm excited to play and just compete again. I was missing that.
I think a lot of players are. I think so. The Lprt will be in Vegas streaming the event, and hopefully there will be plenty of our Lprt players there. Adriana, if somebody wanted to follow you on social media, where would they find you?
Well, you can find me on Facebook as Adriana Riveros. Also, my fan page, Adriana Riveros Racquetball, and of course on Instagram, that is adri.riveros.arbol.
Thank you. And if you had, I always like to ask to end the show, if you had advice to somebody who was considering playing racquetball professionally, what would you say? What would you tell them?
Well, I think I will say the same advice I received is to be persistent for all your goals. Never give up, no matter what. And if you want and you do everything for that, you will get it finally. And that racquetball is just amazing sport.
Yes, that's great. Thank you so much, Adriana.
Thank you, TJ. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Nice to see you.
Thank you, everybody, for joining in and watching. And of course, join us next week, 9 p.m., same time, same place, as we continue to interview and talk with Lprt guests, players, and so on. But on behalf of myself, TJ Bomba, Adriana Riveros, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.